My name is Amanda and I make beauty videos on YouTube, as you can tell from my channel. And I have been noticing a couple of things, and I noticed them in the past as well, but now I am starting to notice them a lot more. What really brought it to my attention is that I was in the store, like in the school supply section, because it is back to school season. So people were looking, they were like teenagers with their school supplies list, you know, what they needed to get for that class or whatever, and the girl was on the list. I guess they needed to bring tissues to school, and one of the girls was like, tissues? I'm not bringing tissues. Like, I'm not going to walk around school with a box of tissues. And I was thinking in my head, remembering, you know, when I just graduated, and my senior year, 2 of my teachers made it mandatory that we had to bring tissues. And the reason why teachers make you bring tissues and, you know, school supplies is because the schools can't afford to buy school supplies themselves. So we rely on students, or they rely on students to bring the products themselves because they're going to be using them. And so it really irked me because it's a box of tissues. Why are you embarrassed to bring a box of tissues? Next thing that I always saw was in high school, I was a freshman mentor. Now, you're probably wondering, what is a freshman mentor? Well, exactly what it says. I mentor freshmen. You know, I help them transition from middle school to high school and to feel more comfortable, to feel welcomed, to, you know, feel comfortable around upperclassmen, because, you know, upperclassmen can be scary. I remember when I was a freshman, well, I wasn't really afraid, but I knew other people were. I remember they would always tell us, oh, you're a freshman, you're going to be picked on all kinds. Well, as a freshman mentor, we would, you know, bring them out of their 8th grade shells into the high school world, and also try to get them to know their peers in their classes, because you can go a whole school year without knowing someone in your class. We used to do activities, like we would play games and stuff, and some of the kids were embarrassed to play. I remember we would do these like holding hand games where you have to pass a hula hoop through, so without letting go of the hands, and people would be like, I'm not going to hold hands, I'm not going to play this stupid game. And I was like, it's just a game. We're trying to get you involved. We're trying to get you to know your classmates. And you don't want to play this game? Like, come on. Don't be scared. Don't be embarrassed. And so from all of that being said, like those encounters that I came upon, I noticed that a lot of people are like that. They're really shy. They don't want to go out and be who they really are. And so I have 4 things that I want to share with you guys. And this video is for you. This is for you. And if you can relate to what I'm saying, and if you are this person, then I really, really, really want to share this with you, because I've been thinking about it and I've been wanting to do this video over and over and over and over and over again. I've been trying to put the words in my head, and I came up with 4 things that I want to share. And I am coming to you as my natural self. I just got out of the shower. I have no makeup on. I'm coming to you as me, as Amanda. And first, to be yourself, because I know so many people who are afraid to do fun things, that are afraid to, you know, go out and try new things. My mom told me something a couple years ago that I really, really took to heart. And we were at a restaurant and they were singing karaoke, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really, 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 really want to do this. But I was like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't want to, I'm kind of embarrassed, I'm kind of scared. And my mom told me, and I will never ever forget this. This is the one thing that I will never forget. She said, don't be embarrassed, because you are never going to see these people ever again. And it's true, because in high school, you're never going to see half of the people again. Okay, if you stay in your hometown for a couple months after you graduate, then of course, yeah, maybe you'll run into them for like 5 seconds, and they're not gonna remember those crazy things you did. But if anything, if they do remember what you did, they're gonna remember it for the good. They're gonna be like, oh, you were that kid who would always do this, and who was never afraid. And so that's one thing that I really, really want to share, is that don't be embarrassed, because if you're going to be embarrassed to do new things, try new things, to have fun, then you're never going to do anything at all. The next thing that I want to share is to live life for yourself. I remember a friend of mine, 2 years ago, like my sophomore year in high school, she liked a guy, and he was country and she wasn't. And so she would try and dress country, to try to impress him, to try to attract him. And, he liked her. But 2 years later, they've been together for a while now. And she doesn't really dress country anymore. She dresses like herself, and he loves her for who she is. And so if someone loves you for who you are and they know you for you, then you should love yourself for you. And that's why I'm coming to you all natural, because I don't have to go out and covered up in makeup and covered up in clothes and have to look my best 24/7, because you know what? I love the way I look natural, and other people love the way you look natural too. If you love yourself, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are, people are going to love you for that. They're going to be like, she's okay with who she is. She is not afraid. She's not scared. And that's awesome. And this also goes to my next thing that I want to say, is don't care what other people think. Is if someone doesn't like the way you dress, then okay, I'm not going to change how I dress for you. If someone's going to go and talk crap about you behind your back, then see you later. You're not my friends. I'm not going to stoop to your level. And as a matter of fact, if they must have something wrong with their self-confidence, because they're talking bad about you, trying to make themselves feel better. Your self-confidence is way down here. Your self-confidence is going to be out of this world, because you love yourself for who you really are, and you don't care what other people think, especially when you're trying to have fun. Now, I'm loud. I like to be obnoxious. I like to dance. I like to sing at the top of my lungs. I like to, have fun. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I try to make the best out of it. And some people are embarrassed of it. They're like, calm down, you're so loud, and I have my limits. I know when to be loud and I know when to be quiet, but if you're embarrassed of me, you don't want to be around me, then don't be my friend. And if you don't know how to have fun with me, then don't hang out with me. You know what I mean? And there are times when, like, okay, yeah, I get it, I'm being a little too obnoxious, and I'll calm down. But if you're not embarrassed, no one else should be embarrassed. And if you're going to be friends with people who are going to put you down constantly, don't be friends with them, because they're not going to help you in the long run. And so for my last thing that I want to share with you guys is, don't live your life behind closed doors. This is to sum everything up. Basically, don't be embarrassed. Live your life for you. Don't care what other people think, and don't live your life behind closed doors. Because if you're going to be embarrassed all the time, and if you're going to live your life for someone else, and if you're going to care what other people think, then that door is always going to be shut. You're not going to go anywhere. Nowhere. At all. You're going to live for someone else, and not for yourself, because you are put on this earth to be you. This is why you are here, because you are here to be yourself. Now, I get that people are shy, but in the long run, if you're willing to break out of that shell like that, you're golden. You're golden for the rest of your life. And so I hope I made sense, and I feel like I should keep talking because I feel like that I haven't said enough. But if you're watching this, like I said earlier, and you are embarrassed and you're shy, then, and you're not going to break out of that shell, then you're going to be behind closed doors. And that's okay, because someday you are going to break out of that shell. And when you do, it's going to be phenomenal. So many doors are going to open for you that your world is going to just flourish in so many things. So I hope that you guys start taking control of your own life. You know, you start being yourself and not caring what other people think, because in the long run, it's going to be sweet. So don't be afraid at all. Just be yourself, be who you are, and always, 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 always live your life for you. Now, I will see you guys later. Stay excellent, and yeah, bye.